Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to All About the Mags. Thank y'all so much for stopping in and watching. If you're new here, welcome and welcome. I'm Jess, and in today's video is another cooking video. I'm cooking turnips with smoked pigtails, barbecue ribs, dry rub ribs, rice, and cornbread. And I started off, after I washed my pigtails, I started boiling them and seasoning them. This is the seasonings I'm using, and I'm going to boil it up in the pigtails. Once the pigtails get tender, I will take it off the bone to mix in my turnips. And I've added a little vinegar. And with the ribs that I will be barbecuing in a pot, I boil it first. I wash my ribs in water and vinegar, put it in the pot, fill it with water. I'm going with all of my seasonings that you see that I'm using now. And I'm going to add about a tablespoon of butter, and I'm going to mix it all together. And I also went in with a little vinegar. Mix it together, let it come to a boil. Now for my turnips, I'm going to fry some fat back. I'm going to get it really well done, crispy fat back, brown. Now I went back and added some onion to my rib pot. Let that boil up with it. Some more onion in my sauteed fat bag, and I'm going to saute some onion. I'm going in with my fresh washed turnip. Add a little bit of water. Even though it makes it on water, I add my water for more of that liquid. Going in with about 2 or 3 tablespoons of vinegar, and I'm gonna let it cook down for a minute before I add my seasonings. Now with the ribs that I will be doing a dry rub, I'm going in and basting it with the binder of mustard. And in another baking dish, I'm going to add my ribs to some aluminum foil. And when I realized that I was going to dry rub these, I had already cut them up, because usually when I dry rub them, I leave them as a slab. But I already cut them, so I'm making do with how I'm doing them now. Now I'm going in with my seasonings. Sometimes I'll create a dry rub. Sometimes I'll buy a dry rub from the store. But today I'm just going to use my regular seasonings. And instead of rubbing them in, I'm going to pat it in as if I'm doing with my dry rub. And these are all the seasonings that I'm using. And I'm just going to pat it in well. And I'm going to flip it over and do the same on the other side. And then I'm going to add a few tablespoons of butter. And I'm going to wrap it up really well in some aluminum foil. And I'm going to add a little bit of water to the bottom of the baking dish, so that my aluminum foil will not stick and it will not dry out and burn. Now back to my boiling turnips. No seasonings is in it as of yet. But I'm going in now with some seasonings. These are the seasonings I'm using, but please feel free to use the seasonings of your desire. So once I get all of my seasonings in, I'm going to stir it up. And I went in also with some vinegar, about a tablespoon of vinegar. And I'm going to stir it up really well. And with turnips, sometimes it have a bitter taste. So if you want to cut the taste to that, you can put about a teaspoon of sugar. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Today I didn't. And these are my ribs. They have been boiling for about 45 minutes to an hour. Now I'm going to transfer it to a baking dish. I'm going to pour some of that seasoned liquid into the baking dish, cover it with aluminum foil, and let it bake in the oven for an additional 45 minutes on 350. And I also have my dry ribs in the oven baking as well on 350. While that's in the oven, I'm going to start cutting up my turnip roots and washing them, because this is what I'm going to add to my turnips towards the end. I'm whipping up a box Jiffy cornbread mix, honey and regular Jiffy, to create cornbread. Now my pork tails is tender how I would like it. I'm going to put it on a plate, remove the bones, and add it to my turnips. Now that the ribs that I'm going to barbecue has been in the oven for an additional 45 minutes, covered with aluminum foil, I'm going to put barbecue sauce on it in a few minutes. These are my dry rub ribs. I'm going to remove them from the aluminum foil and put it in a baking dish with a little bit of the seasoned liquid at the bottom. My turnips is cooking really good. This is, if you can see in the liquid I just showed you, you can see the seasonings in that. So it's seasoned really well. I'm adding my turnips and some more onion. Then I'm going to give it all a stir and let it sit there and simmer. Now to my ribs, I'm going to add my barbecue sauce. And I'm using the crab honey barbecue sauce. And I'm going to turn it over and baste the other side. And you see the liquid at the bottom? I'm going to drain some of that liquid off. I'm going to put aluminum foil on it and stick it back in the oven for about 15 minutes. These are my dry rub ribs. I'm turning them over. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put aluminum foil on it and put it in the oven for an additional 15 minutes. Now with my barbecue ribs, I'm going to, you see the juice at the bottom. I'm going to drain some of that sauce off. And then I'm going to put it back in the oven, uncovered this time, for about 15 minutes. And then it is finished. These are my dry rub ribs that I had them in the oven for an additional 15 minutes covered with aluminum foil. I'm going to remove the aluminum foil and do the same thing. Put them back in the oven for 15 minutes uncovered. These are my turnips. It's looking good. Everything is in the oven uncovered and everything is now finished. These are my dry rub ribs, my turnips with smoked pigtails, my cornbread, Jiffy cornbread, Jiffy honey cornbread that is, barbecue ribs, and of course again my dry rub ribs. And now I'm finished. I thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed and you like our content, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share. If you have any questions about how I cook these ribs or any additional questions, just ask me in the comments and I will answer you. I hope you all having an amazing week. Be blessed. And just like I always tell my family, you got this, whatever your this is, and God got you. Be blessed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.